More from Portland International Raceway as the seconds continue to tick away. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200 is being brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. By Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by Toyota Motorsports. Our minds are always racing. Welcome back live to Portland. There is Mauricio Gugelmin. And passed by Brian Herta. Mark Blundell shown as the race leader.
Well, he just came out of the pits, Bob, and he's got slick tires on, so they're probably not up to temperature. He's going to tiptoe a little bit so he doesn't have an off.
So the Pac West team is splitting their fortunes this time. They have one car. Gugelmin's on slicks. Blundell is still on his wets. Greg Moore runs second. Gilles de Ferran third. Alex Zanardi fourth. Christian Fittipaldi is fifth in a triumphant return to the PBG Kart World Series after 7 races off with a broken leg.
Well, and Big Mo got off, and there goes Paul Tracy again, but you saw Gugelmin get it real sideways, and he kind of controlled it.
And what do these two cars have in common? They're both on those slick tires. Gary Gerald.
We saw Gugelmin, the teammate to Blundell, get service in 10 seconds. Took on slicks. Blundell also gets the slicks. They're slow to disengage. Now he rolls. This is a 12-second stop with a little glitch on the pullout.
Greg Moore comes out behind Mark Blundell. Now, if you're asking yourself, why would they be going to slicks after they watched Paul Tracy and Mauricio Gugelmin sliding all over the place? Last clean lap for Paul Tracy, 1 minute 6.4 seconds. Mark Blundell on the wets, 1 minute 14.2. Looks like a fire for Walter Salas.
Don't forget the call for slick tires to wet, although you just showed the reason why. But the call for that tire is usually down to the driver and the team. They do it together.
What a weekend for Salas and the Davis Racing team. Because of an electrical glitch, he got no practice Friday morning. His first laps in the car were in Friday first round qualifying. Salas, a race winner in the PPG Firestone Indy Light Series here at Portland 1 year ago. You ride with Gilles de Ferran, who is now the race leader after the pit stop by Blundell. He is on wets, and notice how dry the line is. He's not looking for water yet. Perhaps knowing that he doesn't have far to go to the checkered flag.
Let's not forget Paul Tracy's lap was about 8 seconds a lap quicker than his. But if you keep falling off the track, it doesn't matter. You keep giving it back to him anyway.
You beat everybody else by 8 seconds on the lap, and you spent 15 seconds trying to get out of the grass.
Just like Al Unser Jr. said in the pregame show, he said that it's managing, not making any mistakes.
Here comes Christian Fittipaldi. His father Wilson is here this weekend for the first time since the season opener in Homestead, Florida, to watch his son race. There is Alex Zanardi running in second place. De Ferran on the left, then Zanardi. Excuse me, Christian Fittipaldi runs second, Zanardi third. Couldn't believe what my eyes were showing me there. Slower traffic ahead of De Ferran.
Everybody, the leading 2 cars are running on wet tires, and it looked like Zanardi as well because he went over there to cool them off on the damp spot in front of the pits.
Now he's coming up behind P.J. Jones, and this brings up another element of the wet versus dry tire story. You're on dries, on a dry line. You come up behind a slower car, you have a lot less traffic, a lot less racetrack to work with to get around him as you would if you were on the wets and could go off onto the wet part of the racetrack.
That's right. It's a very tricky pass to go offline on slick tires.
And now it is official. We will run to the 2-hour time limit, which means that there are roughly 9 minutes and 20 seconds left in the Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200. Greg Moore shown in 7th place.
Of course, he has been into the pits, and he is on slicks, as is Mauricio Gugelmin in the car right behind him.
Lap times for the cars on dry tires. Paul Tracy just did a 1:07. Mark Blundell, a 1:09. The race leader, Gilles de Ferran, on wets, a 1:14. But he did have slower traffic out there with him. Plenty of drama still to come. We'll be back with a checkered flag in a moment. We are back live at Portland. If you're tuning in for Sports Center, stand by. It'll be following auto racing here on ESPN. Enjoy the final laps of the Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200 with us. Gilles de Ferran in the red, white, and blue Valvoline-sponsored car is the race leader. Just behind him in red with Budweiser sponsorship is Christian Fittipaldi. And running third in line, though he's a couple of laps down, P.J. Jones. And Jones looking very racy at this point. PJ running 20th, 4 laps down. Now our race began on a thoroughly wet racetrack with rain falling hard. Scott Pruitt started from pole with Gilles de Ferran alongside. Water flying everywhere in the early laps of this race. Cars on and off the racetrack. Some cars, including Bobby Rahal, a 3-time series champion, dropping out after difficulty in dealing with the wet conditions, but they have been drying steadily. And the teams have begun to go from the full wet treaded tires to the slick dry tires and reaping the benefits in terms of lap time. But the race leader, Gilles de Ferran, is on wet tires as the seconds continue to tick away. Less than 6 minutes to go in this race now. Christian Fittipaldi, who broke his right leg and his left foot in a savage crash on the streets of Surfers Paradise in the second race of the season. Spent 75 days away, 20 of them in a wheelchair, but applied himself to 8 to 10 hours a day of physical therapy. Got well ahead of the rehabilitation curve. A couple of weeks ago, had 2 of the 4 surgical screws in his right leg taken out. He's driving with a brace on his leg. He said it himself, it's unusual that I can drive the race car, but I can't walk without crutches. Right now, back for the first time since April 6th, he runs in second place with a shot at winning his first PPG Kart World Series victory. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the race. You see the laps in the upper left-hand corner. They are now completely irrelevant. This is now a timed race. We'll be up against the 2-hour time limit. We'll get to Sports Center as quickly as possible after the checkered flag. Less than 5 minutes to go now.
Yeah, these laps right up here in your top of your screen, just disregard those. They are not important right now.
Now there is Greg Moore in that blue and white machine running in 5th place. Excuse me, 4th place. He has gotten around Michael Andretti, and he is running up behind Alex Zanardi, who runs 3rd. Just behind him, Mark Blundell is also looking for a position. The front straightaway now almost completely dry. Zanardi way over on the left, and Parker Johnstone is off the racetrack. But he keeps the fires lit, struggles to get back on. Zanardi goes straight on in the festival chicane.
And he's not slowing down. Shades of Laguna Seca.
Now, will that be considered a legal move? He didn't straight line it and stay on the drag strip, but he cut across the gravel trap. If I actually lost a position, so there's no competitive advantage gained, I imagine he'll be okay. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go.
Well, Mark Blundell benefited the most from that, and Greg Moore seemed to have lost the most ground. Look at
whoa, Zanardi is off again. That goes to what I was saying earlier. It is very wet offline. You see the lighter line. That is the dry line. If you get off on the wet stuff with slick tires, you are going for a ride. From the fastest part of the racetrack, using the left and right hand curbs, being very delicate on the throttle, shifting down to 3rd. 3 minutes to go in the race. Raul Boisel goes up the right-hand side of Alex Zanardi.
And Paul Tracy back in the mix again.
Now that is Patrick Carpentier, who is 1 lap down in 13th. They go flashing by the Bettenhausen Motorsports machine. Carpentier looking for water to keep those treaded wet tires cool. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Gilles de Ferran looking for his first victory of the year. There he is on the left of your screen. He had a pole position. He has 2 poles this year. One on the streets of Long Beach, California. One 2 weeks ago in Detroit.
But look at the back of that pack is Mark Blundell, and he is on slick tires.
Blundell's last lap, 1:04.733. Gilles de Ferran's 1:10.016. So Blundell easily the quicker car. Jimmy Vasser has spun in the Festival Chicane as de Ferran, Fittipaldi, and Blundell combined. Now Blundell, can he get around? Can he get off the dry line, maintain car control, and get past Christian Fittipaldi? 1 minute and 45 seconds to go.
That's what I was going to say. And can he do it in 1 minute and 45 seconds?
Time and space to begin to compress in the last laps of the race. Blundell looks down the inside of Fittipaldi, but the Brazilian gives him nothing.
And that turns into the outside out there.
We anticipate a white flag next time by, meaning 1 lap to go as they flash down the backstretch up to about 180 miles an hour. Blundell strikes again to Fittipaldi's left and takes second place. Meanwhile, Gilles de Ferran has drawn away from this battle over second. There is de Ferran onto the front straightaway. Does Blundell have time to run him down?
I think he can close the gap, but he's got to be able to get by him. He's got to be able to make that pass.
Keep in mind, they've got this very broad front straightaway that Blundell can use if he has to. Fittipaldi, using that left foot braking he's not familiar with, lights up the front tires. Blundell is right there with de Ferran. 2 weeks ago in Detroit, Blundell missed out on his opportunity for his first career victory when he ran out of fuel with one corner to go in the race. And now he has another chance here in Portland. Looking left and right around de Ferran. It's a much narrower racetrack because he is on those slick tires.
Not only that, it's a narrower racetrack because look at Gilles de Ferran knows it's the last lap. He is not going to give him any ground. And it'll be interesting at the end of this straightaway to see what lines Gilles de Ferran takes. Does he go down the inside and protect his position? Yes, he does.
Blundell looks down the inside. 3 more corners to go, and then he'll have that wide and dry front straightaway. It'll be a drag race on the drag strip here at Portland. Off the corner they come.
Oh, it's going to be a photo finish.
Blundell. Here comes Boiselle in third. To the line they come. And Mark Blundell takes the victory in his 22nd career start. The Englishman into the win column in PBG kart competition, getting Gilles de Ferran on the straightaway. Team owner Bruce McCaw and the team can celebrate after being denied in Detroit. Another look. De Ferran up top, Blundell in the middle, Boiselle on the bottom. And look at the speed differential as Blundell powers past to the flag right there. The margin of victory, 0.027 seconds, 27 1/1000ths of a second. Raoul Boiselle third, 55 1/1000ths of a second. The top 3 cars covered by less than 6 100ths of a second. What a finish. Unfortunately, we're out of time. We will not be able to talk to Mark Blundell in this broadcast, but you can be sure that we will see him at the next stop of the PBG Kart World Series in Cleveland, Ohio. There you see the unofficial results. There is the reaction of Derek Walker, his wife to his left. And here is the reaction in the Pac West timing stand as Bruce McCaw looks on stoically. Yes, we have finally won. After 9 rounds of the PPG Kart World Series, Paul Tracy remains the points leader. Greg Moore moves into second place past Michael Andretti, who drops to third. Gilles de Ferran fourth. Jimmy Vasser and Alex Venardi, the teammates, tied in 5th spot. Congratulations to Mark Blundell, his first career win, and a celebratory donut there as he makes his way to victory lane. Coming up next, Sports Center. I'm Bob Varsha for Danny Sullivan, Gary Gerald, and Marty Reed. Thanks for being with us. Congratulations, Mark. Well done. So long from Portland.